Hey guys, welcome back to Passive Money. My name is Alex. That's Kirby. And today we're going to be talking about stop trying to get rich quick, but get rich in the long term or slowly. So, Kirby, I know you talk about this a lot. What do you got on this?
I always see it. I mean, so I'll just start off with real estate. When I talk about real estate or people ask me about real estate, the first thing they ask, are you a flipper? Are you a flipper? And I'm like, no. Is there a element to flipping that's good? Yeah. But people have a short-sighted mind, like, oh, I'm gonna buy this, we'll just use arbitrary numbers. I'll buy this house for 100, I'll put $10,000 in it, I'll sell it for 150, and then I'll make $40,000. I mean, that's minus fees and the fees that go into it. And then they think, oh, that's a come up, you know. But the truth of it is there is an element and there is a business side of it where flipping is good. But the key is to keep flipping. After you get that, 30, 40K profit, you're using that capital to do another flip or do two more flips at the same time. Right now, I don't believe flipping, especially in this environment with the high interest rates, is going to last, or people going to be as profitable as they was during the 2020, 2021 to 22 time. But in this element, and as we are the last day of October here, I don't believe moving forward with the high interest rates that flipping will be as profitable as it was before. But they have that mindset of, okay, I just got to buy something and sell it at a higher price. Yeah, but then they think, oh, once you get that money, you just go out and blow it. No, you have to keep doing it repetitiously and getting a business model to keep doing it. Flip one, use that money to flip two, use that money to maybe flip two more, then flip, two more, and then get a long-term rental and start getting passive income like that. It's a model that goes over time, not just quick flip. I got some money. Let's go buy a Birkin bag. Let's go buy a Bugatti or something like that. That's what everybody's thinking. They thinking that, oh, it's just a quick flip, do it one time, and then you're good to go. No, it's over repetition over and over and over. And like you see on YouTube channels and social media, everybody's telling people to get rich quick. The thing is people that get rich quick, they don't have the financial acumen. Let's say they do two or three flips, and I know somebody right now that's just getting into flipping. And of course, I gave them my misgivings on the interest rate and stuff like that. And they're in one of those small towns where the houses are cheap, and they trying to get 20, $30,000 on a flip. But when they get the money, they have no business acumen, no financial acumen, no financial literacy, that they end up blowing the money and then they're back to square one over and over and over again. So they're just throwing rocks at a wall trying to make a dent. And they're not, because they'll get the 20, $30,000 flip, but then they don't know what to do with the money. And then they go blow the money, then they starting back over at zero, trying to get $30,000, blow the money, and just rinse and repeat. The reason why we say don't try to get rich quick, get rich for sure, or the reason why I say it is because you want to have a steady stream over a long period of time that provides you capital that below your lifestyle. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, eat ramen noodles for the rest of your life and live below your means. You either do it that way over a long period of time, or you have to make way more money than the lifestyle that you want. And you have to continuously keep making more money over the lifestyle you want. Because once you bring your lifestyle up to your income, game is over. If you're not learning the financial literacy part of it, game is over, because you're going to keep blowing the money. There's a reason why athletes, actors, we got one in the news right now, Kanye West, but that's a whole nother story of how the money can go so quick, because they're not looking around the corner, looking at the big picture, looking at the macro of how the money system actually works. And they go from net worth of, 2 billion down to 500 million, and their expenses then outgrew that net worth, and now they're screwed. And that's my first thought on it. What you got?
Yeah, it. I think, I mean, obviously, I've seen it is possible, I guess, to get rich quick, but it's not the majority. It's not the most common way. And to your point in real estate flipping, like the whole time that you're flipping properties and you are blowing your money afterwards, you're paying taxes on that income that's coming in. Whereas
Right.
if you're flipping it, to, as you were saying, flipping it, buying another one or buying two more, and you're saying, buying a property worth more than the previous, you can take advantage of like the 1031 exchange. So you're avoiding those taxes and you're continuing to, that snowball effect and growing more. So like you said, there should be a way to, a method to the madness when you're actually trying to get rich quick. It has to be very strategic. And I've seen like certain stock traders, right, that are all about getting a bunch of money, but they keep reinvesting and they have a limit as to how much they're putting back in and investing every single month, and that they're trading in a lifestyle that they live within. And there's a whole lot of rules to what they're doing. It's not like they're unorganized with it and they're just making a whole bunch of money and then blowing it the next day. Like they're very strategic with what they're doing. But for those that don't want to take that amount of risk, then yeah, getting rich for the long term or slowly is a definite way to go about it.
Yeah, I use the motto, don't get rich quick, get rich for sure. And over the long term, and I'm not saying it's gonna take you 40 years. It's not your econ class from high school to saying put $100 in a savings account and then you do it over 40 years, you will retire a millionaire. If you do the math, let's say you start working at 20, you're 60, you won't have time to enjoy it. You need the fruits of your labor. If you gotta wait to 60, you gotta wait till 60 years old, and then what you're gonna be walking on a cane trying to travel or whatever people be trying to do when they think that they have arrived.
All right.
And $1 million now, you can't be financially free today. So just imagine 40 years from now for somebody that's 20 years old. They won't be financially free. They definitely won't be financially free, especially the way inflation is going at this day and age. It's more of you have to have steady streams of income that you bring in. I mean, just follow like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett company invests in dividend paying stocks. So it's cash flow and he lives off the cash flow. The company lives off the cash flow. All the businesses that they own, like the Dairy Queens, the Kirby Vacuums, the Pamper Chefs, oil, and all the other stuff, they only live off the cash flow that these companies produce. They're not flipping companies, they're not buying a company and then selling it again for a massive profit. It's just collecting assets is going to keep paying you on a weekly, monthly, annual basis that's going to get you cash flow in your pocket. And then you live off that and you still have the asset. You don't have to go back and work to do it again. You already set up the business model, and the business model is going to keep running with or without you. And growing, and then once the business model is working with or without you, once you're dead and gone, your family can benefit from the fruit to your labor. Like Dave Ramsey always say, changing your family tree. That's how it starts. Long-term growth. Somebody has to make a sacrifice to make that happen. And most people are in it for the instant gratification or the self gratification. They only thinking about themselves, but a real person is going to leave something in this earth that's better than themselves. And for me, making sure my my grandkids have the option. Nobody in my family will ever have the ability, and I won't let them have the ability to do nothing. I don't want nobody to do nothing. I want them to keep building on the foundation that I created so it can go down generations and generations later. But to do that, you have to get rich for sure and not trying to think of the quick scheme ways to get it done. I mean, even lottery winners, they get the money quick and then they blow it because they don't have the financial literacy. That's why in school, everybody's looking at all the subjects. I'm just looking at the math. When my kids bring in report cards, I'm looking at the math. How are you doing the math? When you control the numbers, that's the thing that's most important because everybody can say, oh, English is important, this is important, all that stuff is important. But at the end of the day, everybody on this earth, no matter who you are, they live off numbers. And the numbers are important. And that's why getting rich for sure is way more important than getting rich quick. to build something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a lot of truth to it. Where people live off of the numbers. Like it's very true. Like when you look at different classes in school, not to say that the different subjects are, not to be learned or whatever, but I mean, once you get out of school or the school system, you realize that at the end of the day, you still have to pay bills, you still have to make money. So it's really like that's what's going to keep you alive and keep you off, off the street or not living on the street. Like, so what do you need to go about doing that? And knowing math is what's going to get you there, or being financially literate. Um, that's a very interesting point when pointed out like that.
So for the people that's listening, what we're trying to say is get the money, but understand the literacy of it is not grab cash fast, let it go fast. Understand the literacy of it, of understanding how money works, understanding how the financial system works, understanding how interest rates affects things, understanding how different markets that you want to be in work. Don't just jump in just blindly. Understand how things work. The United States, especially, is a financial system. The world system is a financial system. The people who live better lives are people who have the money, or better quality of life. It's the people that have the money. And I'm not saying money is not everything, but all I'm gonna say is money can't. It's a lot of stuff money will buy. And if you're looking for love, if that's the only thing missing in your life, money can't buy it. But you can buy a whole bunch of people that act like they love you. You just don't give them the money. Um, but with that being said, thanks for looking at the video. Please like and subscribe. Comment below. But stay literate, especially in finance. Have a good one.